This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From Reuters, China posts 6-month high COVID count as it sticks with strategy. Chinese health officials have said that the country's COVID-0 approach to dealing with the pandemic is, quote, completely correct, end quote, and they will thus continue to lock down areas in which infections have been detected, regardless of the personal, social, or economic consequences of doing so. COVID cases remain quite low in China by global standards, but out of nowhere, severe lockdowns of people who have the bad fortune to be in the same general area as someone who has been confirmed infected has led to buildings, neighborhoods, and at least once an entire theme park being locked down for as long as a week, which has not been good for Chinese businesses or the nation's larger economic figures, which have been pretty abysmal of late. Not to mention the frayed nerves of citizens who have been uncharacteristically venting their frustrations, which is often against the law, at these semi-regular lifestyle disruptions. From BBC News, iPhone maker bets on electric truck firm Lordstown Motors. Taiwan-based Foxconn, the primary manufacturer of Apple's iPhones, has announced that it will invest up to $170 million in US-based electric vehicle maker Lordstown Motors, netting it more than 18% of the company. This investment arrives at a fortuitous time for Lordstown, which has been operating at a loss, but which is planning to spin up production on an electric pickup truck meant to capture a significant portion of that burgeoning facet of the larger EV market. Foxconn is also involved in EV-related efforts elsewhere, including Saudi Arabia, where the government hopes to produce vehicles using technology licensed from German carmaker BMW. And from Axios, crypto exchange Binance to acquire rival FTX. The 4th largest crypto exchange, FTX, has signed a letter of intent to be acquired by the largest crypto exchange, Binance, following a downturn in the crypto market and a liquidity scare. Both of these companies allow users to buy and exchange all sorts of crypto assets and tokens, and such assets are typically backed by other assets, so people feel comfortable using their services. A recent article speculated that FTX might be facing a liquidity crisis, which would mean they don't have enough assets to pay out folks who keep their crypto tokens and such on their platform. And reportedly, FTX sought out a larger competitor that could buy them out quickly to make up for that liquidity gap. We don't know the full story here yet, but right now, this would seem to be one more piece of evidence that many crypto businesses are built upon relatively shaky foundations, with finances that are not as solid as they seem to be from the outside. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.